Impact on South American Indians. In addition to seeking wealth and land, the Spanish had another goal in their conquests. They wanted to convert the South American Indians to the Roman Catholic faith. For this reason, the Spaniards destroyed religious artifacts and temples sacred to the native peoples' religions. They also killed native priests. Conquest led to suffering for South American Indians in other ways as well. Millions died from smallpox or influenza. They died because they lacked immunity or the ability of the body to fight a disease. The Spanish, by contrast, had immunity to these diseases, which were common in Europe. The Spanish forced native people to work in the silver mines. They set up plantations to grow sugar and other crops for export. Sugar was popular in Europe and brought high prices, making it profitable to grow. Many native people died working on the plantations as slaves. To replace them, the Spanish imported enslaved people from Africa. As in the Caribbean, enslaved Africans were forced to do exhausting work on plantations or in mines. Many Africans fought their masters or fled into the forests. The presence of different groups led to a blended culture. The Spanish brought their language, laws, and Roman Catholic religion. Native culture survived in crafts and foods. Africans contributed foods, music, and religious beliefs as well. A colony built on sugar and gold. Portugal began exploring and colonizing the Americas in the early 1500s. The largest territory in the Portuguese Empire became South America's largest colony, Brazil. Settling Brazil. Early settlers discovered an important export, the Brazil wood tree. The Portuguese named the colony after this tree, valued because its wood produced a reddish-purple dye. Colonial culture. As in Spanish colonies, the Portuguese brought their language and Roman Catholic religion. When native South Americans died from European diseases, they began importing enslaved Africans. About 6 million Africans were eventually brought to Brazil. As in Spanish lands, the result of this mix of peoples was a blended culture. Growth and wealth. Sugar quickly became Brazil's most valuable export. Most of the sugar plantations were found on the northeast coast. Wealthy landowners owned them. Farmers who had less wealth grew cotton or food. All of these crops were grown for export to Portugal. Like Spain, that country had a policy of mercantilism. The colony was seen as a source of wealth for the crown. Portuguese settlers began to push inland, seeking to enslave native people. These explorers and slave hunters were called bandeiras. Their movements expanded Portugal's claim to land in South America. In 1695, settlers found gold in southeastern Brazil. Gold then flowed into Portugal. The southeast became so important that Portugal shifted the capital of the colony to Rio de Janeiro in 1763.